Hey there, we're back. I wanted to share some analysis with you all. I wrote a book. There's the manuscript. Now, it's not actually a book, it's a journal. I created a guided journal for young men. And it's full of writing prompts, activities, things to help you think and get your mind clicking in a way to help you find your purpose. Because I'm a firm believer that when men have a strong affinity with their purpose, it aligns them in a way that helps them navigate society and bring out the best version of themselves. We make better use of our time when we're purpose-driven. I just want to tell you guys about some of the chapters, what you'll see inside. There's actually 12 chapters. And what's beautiful about this journal is meant to go through a lot of the conversations and dialogue that I would have with you if I was your mentor. For those of you that might not be able to make the commitment to join the Justice Inspired community, for some reason we can't connect and I'm not the right fit to be your mentor, maybe it's my personality, I don't know. You can still get the lessons, you can still have the talking points you need to help your mind think and churn in a way so that you can grow into something bigger and better. This manual is organized into 12 transformative chapters, each addressing a critical aspect of a young man's development. We start with number 1. Distinguish your principles. What do you stand on? What is your business? You know what's funny about that? You can ask a lot of grown men that right now. They're going to respond with really generic responses. They can't tell you what their business is. My business is to raise the standard for Black male excellence. How do I raise the standard for Black male excellence? When you see Mr. Tucker, you'll notice I never look like any of the negative stereotypes that are too often attributed to Black men. No sag in my pants. And anyone affiliated with me won't do that either. We have belts here. Everywhere we go, we look like men that demand respect. I was telling a young man the other day some truths about me. When I was younger, in my 20s, I had some bad experiences with the police. Not to the point that I've been arrested for anything, but just getting tickets and stuff like that was traumatic enough for me. I didn't want to drive for years. I had a car just right in my mom's yard because I didn't want to drive it because I was frustrated from always getting tickets or just struggle. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But ironically, most of the times when I see the police, if I haven't actually done anything wrong, they're actually really nice to me. They don't give me a hard time. They say things like, "Good day, sir. Sir, how are you, sir?" Because I look like a sir, so you're going to assume I am a sir. The same way, hate to say this, people are going to assume you are that. And that ain't this. All right? My principles have allowed me to become a man that wherever I go, people feed into that. Sometimes you're getting the negative responses because you were putting that image out. It's not one to respect. If you know better, you do better. I'll let that help you. Chapter 2, discern your position. Discernment is all about a sense of awareness. Knowing your position, you can start to plan and move accordingly. You also learn how to leave things alone because they don't correlate with what you're trying to accomplish. Be a steward to your responsibilities. A steward is someone that takes close care. And that's just that. Taking close care of your responsibilities. Look at those. What are those? How often do we have to do them? What are the struggles? What's stopping you from doing this? Why can't you keep up with your responsibilities? Are you lacking somewhere? Things you can think about. Curate your delivery. Curate your delivery. You have to customize your approach for the audience that you're talking to. Right? If I know I have somebody that they're going to be more responsive to me, if I'm more passionate in my delivery, then I'm going to make sure when I'm talking, I have points where I hit those emotional notes so that they get the message. At the same time, if I'm dealing with somebody who's a little more composed and doesn't like all that, when I'm preparing my message, I may refrain. That way, I'm not offending or harming anyone. Orchestrate your legacy. Like a band leader, baby. Put the things in place and get the music rolling. Orchestrate your legacy. There's no time like right now to get it going. Start laying down the foundation for what's going to be here for you, beyond you. When I think about this YouTube channel, that's why I love it so much. There are many lessons that I want to share with you all, and I will. But the reality is, if I was cut short, I got started. I made good at it. And I'm happy with that. Most people ain't gonna try. Embody the code. We talked about your principles, your position, your responsibilities, and how you deliver. Embodying the code is just being that man you say you are and living that way consistently on a basis. Build environments that reflect your standing. This is key. This goes back to, for the previous video, I talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Understanding that everyone you meet may not be on your level mentally, right? You might be seeking goal attainment or working in self-actualization, your purpose. You have a lot of people around you working on securing their basic essentials or just safety security. Levels 1 and 2 is where you'll see a lot of people that work jobs. I'm not picking at someone that's just working at Target. There are people in the NBA that might be just working a job. Maybe he's meant to be a film director or something, but everybody told him he's tall, he can play basketball, so he did it as a safety, but that might not be what he really wants. And we see this all the time. There are athletes that retire after a couple of years, or maybe a teacher that might be a great comedian. So they're teaching because that's a job and it's admirable, but their true calling is to be a comedian and really get off stage and talk to thousands and connect that way, right? But the reality is they got to get their basic needs met. So you take that job as a teacher because being a comedian is risky. Even though if you're a successful comedian, you can make more on one show than that teacher does a whole year. You can't think like that if you're only thinking about your basic needs. As you go up, you can get so much more to cover that stuff. But when you're stuck, focused on that, you miss these great pictures. If you have great ideas, sometimes it pays to get yourself around a different group of people that can take your idea and give you some criticism and feedback on it. Because we all know people that have never sacrificed for anything will tell you how to give up on your dreams. You were surrounded by people that are just working, doing what they gotta do. They ain't got no time to really tell you how to have more. Because if they did, they would have it themselves, but they don't. And that's not to diss anybody. You have to really start to look at your environment and understand it. You trying to go to college and everybody around you just going to jail? They probably want you to go to college, but can they tell you about college who's been 3 times and about to go again? No, because I do this, right? So you come to me about college now, it's a whole nother conversation. We're talking and building upon on how this can go with the many places you can go. But if you talk to someone that, they don't know college for themselves, all they think about is just going to class to get a degree. But when you talk to someone that actually does this college thing, I know it's so much more than it. Me, getting in your life is an example of building an environment for your future that you want. An environment that should reflect your standard. But most of us, especially children, have an environment that you inherit. Good or bad, it's what you have. You have more time and flexibility to change your environment, but typically you couldn't. Be kind. Chapter 9, Mentor with Mastery. That goes back to the secret science of mentorship. For a lot of my life, there have been things that I wanted to do, and oftentimes I was afraid to do them because I was really critical of my own flaws. I'll give you an example. When I was getting my second master's degree in school counseling, I wanted to become a therapist. As I was going through the program, I realized I was struggling with my own mental health, and I was dealing with debilitating depression, crippling anxiety, but I was ashamed because I was saying, like, how can I be a therapist? How can I help people with their problems if I'm struggling with my own? I had this idea that in order for me to be in front of people, I have to be perfect. And that's not true. It's not about being perfect. It's about how you deal with your flaws. Mental health is like, you catch a common cold. You go through enough stuff, you will get depressed. If you have enough shortcomings go bad for you, you get anxious from good things happening. If you're constantly winning, you might be anxious for the next thing because you want to see the next big reveal. When I was in that program, even though I knew what I wanted, that's not where I was working from. I was still looking for safety and security. I was struggling. And with time being older now, I can look back at those things, make that comment and see myself. But going through it at that times with me not having the glasses I have now, I couldn't tell. I say that to say I can relate now. You can't tell either. You can't tell either because a lot of this stuff is cool and it's what we're used to. We're familiar with it. And it's hard to leave things that you're familiar with. The unknown is intimidating. Chapter 10. Protect your wellness is health is wealth. A lot of times people are so focused on the money, they don't take the time to think about health. I personally take this chapter really personal. Whenever I talk to a young man, I ask him, what do you want to do? I feel like I'm the best. When a young man is struggling with trying to decipher a job that pays well versus what he's love or passionate about. And I always tell them, young men, young ladies too, anybody, if you get nothing from this video and you get this, you were made with something unique, special just to you, a gift. It comes from you to all of us. That is your purpose. You can find that. Grow it. Expand it. You will command any dollar you demand because you deserve it. You'll be one of a kind. That's how we get the unique change makers, the people that create things that last in time. It was their purpose. And they lived it abundantly. And you and me can do the same. This mentorship, this is my purpose. I believe I've been through a lot in my life. The wisdom that I've learned from overcoming these obstacles, I can now use to teach other young men so they don't have to struggle like I did. My struggles gave me strength. And now I have wisdom from that strength that I can share with others. So that protecting your wellness is wealth. I think about my father. First of all, let's give a clap applause from my father. He's still alive, by the way. So definitely want to thank him for being a phenomenal figure in my life. It wasn't always perfect. It's not fully perfect. It was necessary. And I can tell you, I would not be standing here right now had he not been in my life. I don't know where I would be. Maybe I'd be in jail, the data says. But seriously, guys, my father worked really hard for us. He sacrificed so much of his life. My father's had cancer twice. He has one eye. He's lost a lot. But he did all that to provide for his family. In doing that, I witnessed that struggle from my father, and I said I did not want to have to give as much. That's why I wanted to find my purpose. I think that although I love what my father did, and he's proud of what he did too, I always felt like my dad would have been an amazing professor or a great coach. And he did coach in the community, but I'm talking about part of somebody's program, the lives he would have impacted and changed. Oh my God, phenomenal. But he had to do what he had to do. And to many of us, we had dads like this. They did what they had to do for us. So I say to you, if you had a father that did what he had to do for you, you owe it to him to do what you were made to do, to live abundantly, to be the best you can be. Why did he sacrifice all these years for you just to be average? That's not fair. You owe him more. So I challenge you to give. Find, cultivate, chase it, and don't stop. Somebody sacrificed for you to be in that position. They like to say things like, the ancestors died for you to vote. No, they didn't. But they did die for you to live your purpose, because your purpose wasn't to be a slave. Your purpose was for you to do what you were created for. Live out your wildest imagination. That's what your purpose is. That's what ancestors died for, nothing else. And cultivate your influence with integrity. That's chapter 11. This is the journal, guys. I will have the proofs out soon, and we'll be taking pre-sales really soon. I just got to do a couple more review edits. But cultivate influence with integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. You build a brand by who you are at all times, even when the camera's not on. If you ever meet me, you know I'm talking to you right then and there like I'm talking right now. That's integrity. I don't leave here and be like, what's up, man? What's going on, my YN? What's up, homie? Yeah, no, I do not. Salute me not. Because I got integrity. I don't do that trash at all. And I do call it trash. I stand on that. That's what integrity is about. I know a lot of people are going to say, you shouldn't do that. That's not nice. I don't care what you think. Don't come here. This space is people that understand where I'm coming from. Integrity. Integrity is not compromising for the bigger population. Got a little hype there in a moment, guys. Forgive me for that one, okay? And then lastly, the last chapter is live the legacy now. And that talks about a lot of times, and I see this with guys my own age, man. They want to do something. They got these lavish ideas. And so let's get started. And a lot of people have this idea that if you want to start something, there's this perfect time. It's no perfect time. Real talk. I started Just Aspire Mentoring because I was working in Baltimore City and people were forming up against me and not helping me. And I felt that I had something that the children in this city, if not all across the world, needed. And I was not going to allow people's feelings and opinions of me to stop me from moving forward doing this. So I did the work anyway. I had the audacity to be the man that I believe our young people need. Even if society, the community didn't want to support it. I said, so what? You ain't supporting it because you don't know any better. I'm going to do it anyway. That's what legacy's about. I built it brick by brick. And there was a time where I could only afford a brick. So what? Lay it down, put my cement. When I get some more money, I'll put another. That's okay. Still get a castle in. Some guys build it in a week. Some build it over years. I bet you the castle built over years lasts longer than the castle built in a week. That's what this is about. After that, I gave you about 50 pages just to write, continue your thinking. The idea is that you've had all these activities that you'll do in the journal, that you might want some time to continue working those thoughts. And then maybe you transition to another journal where you continue writing. Because I want this to be a process for you. I want you to get your thoughts out your mind. This is a gold mine. You have to get back into it and police all this noise around you. I have a friend, love her to death. But whenever we're listening to stuff on her phone, I'm always telling her, this is all distracting. None of this stuff is going to help you be a bigger, better person. I know we're supposed to have time to relax and all this. You can find things to relax that'll still help you. You don't have to distract yourself. You don't have to get into the matrix. Like this idea that you have to at some point, that's being a follower. I tell a lot of young people, I don't do left-right conversations. I don't do black-white conversations anymore. I know my history better than most people, so I don't have to go back and forth with that. It's 2025. I have been through enough in my life. I've seen enough challenges from both sides that I don't have to sit here and regurgitate the traumas. I'm not doing that. We have enough current issues going on in our communities that I think that needs more focus. I tell people all the time, but some of us, if you pay attention, a lot of us can say this. I've had more discrimination done by African Americans. I was denied from a HBCU. I've never been denied from a PWI. Go figure. I literally been threatened with my life from people that look like me while just trying to help and serve their family. That's it. And people will then look at me and tell me I did something wrong. But all I do is another community can see me and give me honor, but my own people will try to take everything from me. Knowing that the evil is right here within my home, I don't focus on the evil of others because I just know it's everywhere. Baltimore City's got more crime. I tell people, Baltimore City is a sundown town. You outside of Baltimore City, you can get killed. It's going to be a black person that's going to do it. It's not going to be no white person. Like, there's a website called Murder and Be More. Look at the crime they do 24/7. I was working in Baltimore City schools. In those 3 years, I have 4 guns in my building. The first one was for a teacher. We only found out because the kid talked about it on Instagram, and another kid faithfully informed us. So yeah, I don't believe in the boogeyman. Ain't no man out to get me. If anything, men just don't look out for me enough. How about that? Talk about that more. But guys, this wasn't supposed to be a rant about the community. I'm excited. I can't wait to show you guys the proof that should be coming in about a week or 2. Let's just come together, man. We got our membership pins. Soon we'll have our membership books. Have a tea party soon. And then in about another week, I'll be giving you guys a tour of the Justice by Mentoring House in Baltimore, because it's a home of inspiration. But all right, guys, it's Mr. Tucker here. I am going to step out, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for listening.